As of this moment, on Sunday, December 21st, 2025, the market is closed, so we are looking at the final closing figures from the most recent trading session on Friday, December 19. Apple stock finished that session at $273.67, marking a steady move of 0.54% to the upside. While a 0.5% gain might look like a quiet day for a tech giant, the underlying movement tells a much more complex story. Most people looking at their individual brokerage or checking the latest updates on the Fidelity mobile app see a stock that is simply holding its ground near all-time highs. The common expectation is that Apple is the safe, boring harbor in a volatile tech market. But the reality is that we're seeing a massive shift in institutional positioning that suggests the quiet period for this stock is about to end. While retail traders on the Robinhood app are focused on the daily price action, the big institutional players at firms like Fidelity Wealth Management are quietly adjusting their portfolios in response to some very specific internal metrics that haven't hit the main headlines yet. The immediate insight you need to grasp is that despite the stock's stability, insider selling and institutional trimming have reached a 3-year high this quarter. Specifically, we saw Timothy Cook sell off nearly 130,000 shares in October at an average price of around $256. When the leader of a $4 trillion entity starts liquidating a portion of his holdings, even for tax planning or diversification, it creates a psychological floor that the market has to test. Most investors believe that because Apple beat earnings recently, posting a solid $1.85 per share against the expected $1.74, the stock should be on a clear path to $300. However, the deeper analysis shows that the growth is increasingly dependent on services and high-margin software rather than the hardware cycles we've traditionally relied on. This creates a tension between the expectation of a hardware-driven rally and the reality of a company that is slowly becoming a massive recurring revenue machine with a lower valuation ceiling. If you are using tools like Schwab Intelligent Portfolios or other automated online investment systems, you might not notice these shifts in the narrative. These platforms often optimize for long-term stability, and Apple stock is the poster child for that. But if you are someone who prefers self-investing and managing an interactive broker's account, you have to look at the trading volume and the institutional flow. On Friday, we saw a volume of about 144 million shares, which is significantly higher than the average. This indicates that while the price movement was small, there was a massive exchange of hands. Large funds are likely rebalancing their Fidelity ETFs and Fidelity mutual funds as we head into the final days of the year. This kind of churn usually precedes a larger directional move. People often think that high volume with low price movement means a stock is stuck, but in reality, it often means the bulls and bears are fighting a heavy battle at a key psychological level. Right now, if you look at the landscape of online investing, there is a lot of noise about whether to chase the latest high flyers or stick with the blue chips. Many people are using their Robinhood investments to buy into more speculative names, but the smart strategy often involves looking at how the heavyweights are reacting to macroeconomic pressures. Apple is currently trading at a price-to-earnings ratio of about 36.6. For a company of this size, that is a historical premium. The expectation is that the upcoming product cycle will justify this multiple. The reality is that consumer spending is showing some slight cracks, even if the high-end luxury market remains intact. If you are doing your own research on various investing sites, you will see that analysts are divided. Some, like Evercore ISI, have recently raised their price targets, while others are whispering that the valuation has gotten ahead of the actual earnings growth. When we look at recent stock movement, we see that Apple has gained about 3% over the last month. This doesn't sound like much, but when you consider the scale of its market cap, that is billions of dollars in value being created out of thin air. Much of this has been driven by the reaction to the October earnings report, where revenue hit over $102 million. But the real story is in the sector momentum. As other tech stocks like NVDA stock see wild swings, Apple has become the cash substitute for institutional investors. When the market gets nervous, they park their capital in Apple. This creates a unique situation where the stock might go up even if the business fundamentals are just okay, simply because it is seen as the safest place to be. This is something that those who invest online through a fidelity trading platform need to keep in mind. Sometimes you aren't buying the company, you're buying the perceived safety of the ticker. I want to pause here for a second and get your take on this. Comment below how many shares of Apple stock you currently hold and whether you plan to add more before the new year starts. It's always interesting to see if retail sentiment aligns with what we're seeing in the institutional data. Beyond the daily price action, we have to look at what the business is actually doing. Apple's model is effectively a closed ecosystem. They sell you the device, and then they sell you the subscription to the service that makes the device useful. This services segment now has a net margin that is significantly higher than the hardware side. In past reports, we saw that services were growing at double digits while iPhone sales were relatively flat. This is the transition that defines the current state of the company. It's no longer about just selling a phone, it's about the lifetime value of the customer. For anyone using SoFi Active Investing or a similar interactive brokers platform, this shift is critical for your long-term valuation models. If you treat Apple like a hardware company, it looks expensive. If you treat it like a software as a service company, the 36 PE ratio starts to make a lot more sense. The institutional activity we've seen recently is also worth a closer look. While some smaller banks and trust companies have been trimming their stakes, the large-scale holders of Fidelity IRAs and big pension funds are still largely committed. However, the rate of increase in their positions has slowed down. This suggests a wait-and-see approach regarding the next major catalyst. We are also seeing a lot of activity in the options market through the Robinhood app and other retail platforms. There is a high concentration of call options sitting at the 280 and 285 strikes for January. This creates a magnet effect. If the price starts to move towards those levels, market makers have to hedge their positions by buying the underlying stock, which could trigger a sharp rally. Conversely, if the stock fails to hold 270, we could see those same market makers selling to unhedge, leading to a quick drop to the 260 range. For those of you looking for investment help or using a SoFi robo-advisor, you might be accustomed to a more passive approach, but the reality for the self-directed investor using a Robinhood trading platform or an interactive broker's account is that volatility is an opportunity. The current tension between the market's expectation of a smooth climb and the reality of high valuations means that any slight miss in data could cause a significant pullback. We saw this in the middle of December when the stock dipped briefly to the 279 level before bouncing back almost immediately by institutional buyers, showing that there is still a strong appetite for the stock below 270. As we look towards the future outlook, there are a few scenarios to consider. The first is a continuation of the current trend where Apple stock remains a slow and steady climber, eventually hitting that $290 to $300 range by mid-2026. This would be driven by continued strength in the services sector and perhaps a better-than-expected reception to new AI integration across their devices. The second scenario is more cautious. If the consumer environment weakens further and we see a slowdown in high-end device upgrades, the stock could retest its 200-day moving average, which is currently sitting much lower around the $240 mark. This would be a painful correction for those who bought in at the top, but it would provide a much more attractive entry point for those with a long-term horizon. The catalysts to watch for in the coming months include the official launch of more integrated software features and the early data from the next cycle of hardware releases. Also, keep an eye on any regulatory developments. The government's stance on App Store fees and digital competition is a constant background risk. While it hasn't derailed the stock yet, it is the kind of reality that could eventually fall short of market expectations and cause a re-rating of the stock. For those using SoFi stocks or managing their own individual brokerage, these headlines are more than just news. They are the signals that dictate when to trim or add to a position. In summary, the central insight here is that Apple is in a state of high-tension equilibrium. On the surface, the price is stable and the sentiment is generally positive, but underneath, we see a company that is being forced to transition its core growth drivers at a time when its valuation is at historical highs. The expectation that it will forever remain the safe harbor is being challenged by the reality of shifting consumer habits and institutional rebalancing. If you are using a Fidelity mobile app or checking your Robinhood investments today, remember that the price you see is just the surface of a much deeper pool of data. You have to decide if you believe the services growth can sustain this multiple, or if the